Liquid fairly convincingly won game number 1 up against Virtus.Pro. We're going into the second series, Sind. Are you expecting VP to fight back?
I'm expecting them to definitely do better than that game 1. I actually had them picked as my winner of the group. Based on scrims against them, I think they had been playing very good aggressive Dota. That's why the last game surprised me a little bit, that they
seem very passive.
It's not like their draft couldn't be played in an aggressive manner, they just seemed like they weren't looking for opportunities, is the best way for me to put it. So I'm expecting in this game that they're going to try to take the reins a bit more and threaten Liquid with something like this.
First pick Wisp. VP also chose to do this, like they want to have first pick. Team Liquid chose Dire for this game. The bans seem fairly similar, but you pick the Wisp over picking something like a Chen, and you also now give Team Liquid the option as well. If they want to, they could also run the Chen in this game.
And an Aegis Prophet.
Well, yeah, she just gave them both. Well, that's playing with fire.
10 seconds.
It is, but at the same time, giving Chen and Prophet, it is abusable if you play very good early game. Those two heroes need a bit of time. They don't have any like nukes or lockdown early on, so you can put a lot of pressure on them by just running strong lanes and looking to fight. A hero like Spirit Breaker is not bad against that type of style if they wanted to try it again. I do like this Puck pick a lot though.
Very early pick.
It's great against IO.
Considering like in game 1, like Team Liquid weren't even looking for their bid until the very end of their draft. And a Chaos Knight? I suppose this stops at least Team Liquid from banning out both the Tiny and the Chaos Knight, probably two of the most consistent heroes paired up with the IO for the tournament so far. Very quick on the bans. These guys are mucking around. This time VP not burning their extra time.
Yeah, they're not taking any chances with the Chen. I think if Liquid were to pick the Chen in the first phase, VP would have maybe actually banned out the exact, banned out that Puck, just to allow their IO Chaos Knight to shine here. But obviously turns out not to be a problem now with the Chen. The Bounty Hunter ban, mainly targeted against JRX again, just trying to avoid all these shenanigans in the early laning stage. We saw how well MVP played around having Prophet and Bounty Hunter together, just making a lot of chaos in Group A. Not gonna risk that here for VP. And now the interesting thing is Liquid with the next pick here, they have a lot of information. When you pick IOCK like this in the first phase, you know what type of game it's gonna be. So I'm just very curious what Liquid's read is on it. If they're gonna try to fight fire with fire or take more of a split pushing approach by already having Prophet and Puck. They could try to dodge, get maybe their third core could have something to avoid relocate ganks or something that counters CK. At least so far, this is a support pick that can play around it. Reach the IO. You can take a target who gets Chaos Bolted and protect it. It's very telegraphed when you cast that ability.
Again, Team Liquid, they're persisting with this Tusker. As opposed to everything else, like Tusker, he kind of dropped off a little bit more. Like we saw the Death Prophet in the last game, like, maybe this hero is kind of fallen out of favor for this tournament so far, but Tusker fell a lot further from grace.
Yeah.
Well, like when his Shard Block was changed for the off lane, a couple of other tweaks to him as well. Like, why is Team Liquid still persisting with this Tusker?
It's just a perfect pick for their playstyle. It fits all of JRX's biggest strengths and Liquid's like general approach to the game, their ideology of how you should play it. It's very mid-game, like roam early with one support and then look toward a mid-game teamfight centric lineup. That seems to be the style they play a lot. They're good at coming together. Tusk brings the team together very naturally with ice shards. It gives a clean target. It makes it a lot easier to identify what you need to do in fights if you land your abilities correctly.
It's interesting you also mentioned like, yeah, JRX is the guy who would normally play it, but
yeah, Kuro.
Yeah, Kuro's playing in the last game. Kuro's been, like, prior to the major, he's been playing more of these trolley style heroes. Like I thought Live's Still a Jungle is probably the best example of the trolley kind of style. But they were really trying to manipulate the jungle every single time. Like exploit the Iron Tangle to their heart's content, and then just come in as this powerhouse 10 minutes into the game. And there's no way you can repel that unless you try and contest it with heroes like Bounty Hunter. And again, okay, so we're gonna get a Wyvern pickup from VP.
Turn to pick.
It's kind of funny when we were checking out the other game in the break, and Winter Wyvern as well as Wisp was the combination that's been run by Complexity. That was a little bit different.
Yeah,
There's a lot of magical damage from Team
There's some
Liquid.
very notable synergy between these heroes of VP that I guess we should mention. The first thing is, obviously you can Cold Embrace the IO during the tether, and it's a really, really big heal onto the other target. And of course, IO also is, in a lot of cases, safer that way, so you're actually perfectly fine with it. But more importantly, the way you can play these, Winter Wyvern is actually a really good catch. So you can hide in the tree line and then fly out with Arctic Burn and set up for a relocate gank. You have very long initiation range with Winter's Curse, and even though the curse works differently than in the past, it's still a long time lockdown that gives more than enough time for the relocate to finish and bring in the target, or the tether target rather.
The issue is then Team Liquid's response to you. Like right now, they potentially could try and couple up their globals, because Spectre is still also available in the pool, and then that kind of like hide in the trees, come out play isn't going to work well for you. If it is going to be an early Diffusal Blade Spectre as well, the Wisp and Wyvern, they're going to melt pretty quickly at the start of the fights. Chaos Knight may not be that sad about it though, because single target up against the Spectre is going to work beautifully for him.
I think Liquid are more worried about the Chaos Knight than the two supports. They want to make sure they have AoE damage to deal with him, or at least AoE control. And Phoenix, lots of damage with the Sunray. Fire Spirits are great against Chaos Knight. Very naturally stacks his illusions when he casts Reality Rift, and then you can hit all of them with 1 or 2 spirits. Good synergy with Puck. And it just seems like a comfort zone pick for Liquid based on last game too. It just really fits, once again, the way they like playing the game. I think it's a very good pick here.
Is it going to be enough though? Because the Chaos Bot doesn't get disjointed by Phoenix, so they've still got ways to potentially kill him.
It's still, again, it's a very telegraphed ability. So if you see it coming, you can still dive into the Supernova. It is definitely possible, or you save him with the Snowball and then you Supernova. So the plays are there. The downside is, this is another thing about the Wyvern pick actually. If you do defensive Snowballs, you naturally position yourself, just set up a Winter's Curse for the opponent. So you got to be a little bit careful with using that too aggressively.
Well, you might also be worried about the other combo, Darkseer and Wyvern.
Yeah, good.
Darkseer back into the big curse. You may not have a choice.
10 seconds remaining.
There's also like great lane presence from VP. Another combo with the Chaos Knight, unshilling up the Chaos Knight before you go into the engagements. And there's one hero that's missing now from VP as well as Liquid. Liquid thought it was going to be the Viper for the mid for VP. Would have been like the icing on the tanking cake. Very difficult for Puck to actually win the lane trade. Yes, win, no. And the Anti-Mage was the last one banned out by VP. Because Liquid don't really have great flash farm. Like, I'm actually got this event on the mind right now for Team Liquid. Good to clean up the Chaos Knight, maybe able to survive
10 seconds remaining.
through a lot of this. Options for flash farming with him are also quite good. Would have actually looked to that more than I would the Anti-Mage.
I think they should be looking for a hero that can self-sustain against Darkseer, so that the supports can move around. Because VP are going to be bringing the fight, that is for sure. This game is not like last game at all.
And also know too, like this, like we're in the last phase right now. There's no Lone Druid and there's no OD banned or picked.
That is indeed very true. I noticed the Lone Druid, I forgot about OD. That is kind of surprising actually.
The Luna picks it.
I don't know if that's the choice. Seems a little bit risky. It can be great, but he needs items. Until then, you're very fragile.
The OD or the Druid, or are you talking about Luna?
Luna. And the problem is Luna's Lunar Blessing can actually work against them if there's a Winter's Curse. Everyone just hits harder. So it doesn't really matter who you curse in the area. They will all just deal more damage in that Wyvern ult. So that's
Luna also comes in really close.
A bit of a weird.
Like, because her attack range is ass.
I think VP's last pick is going to be Lena, by the way. It just seems really good here. All right, or TA.
It kind of ticks the same box you were looking for.
Yeah. Okay, so I think if this mid lane was another hero than Puck, they would have probably gone for the Lena. It's just one of G's absolute best heroes. Great synergy with this playstyle around Chaos Knight and Darkseer. But they're emphasizing the lane more. This is the worst lane matchup for Puck, apart from Brood, I think. There's nothing that is worse. Maybe Lone Druid? Yeah. Lone Druid and TA are bad matchups nowadays for Puck.
Because you can't phase shift the side blade attacks, like, or else you'd be permanently phase shifted.
Yeah, I mean you can, but it's more just you just like Puck doesn't have damage over time. The way Puck wins the lane is that it harasses and uses its nukes to deal damage and secure farm, but TA doesn't care. You just, when you see the orb flying, you use refraction, or you already have it on, and you just pressure the Puck as much as you can. And like you said, side blades will always be a threat for the Puck. It's a lot harder to dodge those than ranged attack projectiles, because the travel time is so short on TA's attacks. They fly very, very fast.
We're doing it again, guys, because we have the same bug from yesterday.
Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so
no, come on, keep that. That looks good. Now we need to guess.
So you want that? You want that? Do you?
That's awesome.
No. Okay, we're gonna switch off. We're gonna switch off. I'm gonna. I'm on load screen, but yes, I'll be back in a second. And we're back. And we're working, and we can see heroes. We're back in again. We have Rob, who's our man. Huge shout out as well to both Rob and K-pop. They have basically been going through the salvage yard to make sure that we can keep these streams up for you. So the wonderful grin I just got there was worth it. Alright, so we start again. Again, we're going to see a Phoenix trying to tempt the rune steal, so keep our eyes on this one. If he does this, then Liquid take 2 runes, and he won't do this. God will claim it.
God had the right-click script on lock right there. He got that rune good.
How hard is it when a Phoenix comes in like that to not click the Phoenix, and to actually click the rune?
You need pretty good timing. Especially against players of this caliber, you know, God picks up 1 bounty rune at the beginning of every single game, so...
Is that when you perspective camera to make sure you click under the hero?
I mean, I don't know if that's a trick. Maybe it is.
Could be a thing. No 2 the God decided to go for side blades level 1. So he's actually taken the damage from the orb. Obviously his side blades has returned a lot of damage into Fada. Looks like also on top lane. Okay, Jirax, you're in trouble. There's no Icarus dive. Phobos is very low. He's gonna get the last punch in just before the Luna gets a revenge kill. But FNG was up here helping him out, so they go for a 1-1 trade-off on the top lane. But first blood goes the way of VP, thanks to the Darkseer.
And that's such a good start. When you're playing a 2 and 3 lane and you get the first blood, you're most of the time very happy. Especially when this type of lane. Darkseer Wyvern isn't known to be like one of the strongest lanes, but of course the synergy is there with the Arctic Burn and the Ion Shell.
Kuro was trying to stop this pull from happening. And unfortunately he wasn't able to do that. He could have potentially committed shards and locked the creep wave in. But now they just have to start farming up the Wild Wings. This is easy levels as well for the top lane. Like, you're on a 2v3 lane. Like, Phobos are going to get pretty close to level 3, and when those Iron Shell levels start getting up, like, but Tubman's going to be careful just how close he gets to the lane.
My control's screwed.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Silent, is there enough? One more click would do the job, but no, they lost him in the trees. He actually turned around at one point to attack there. Mind control, well, he's got the tree which can block up the path, and Lil, well, he just leaves his own teammate for dead there. Well, not for dead, just in the trees.
Man, if Kuro had a TP there, that could have turned into a disaster for VP. Like, those are the type of plays that could just lose games. They dove for a good, like, 10 seconds. Mind Control was able to kite them around the tree line. A Tusk TP there could have killed both heroes, potentially, or at least the Chaos Knight, who was tanking the tower damage. VP should just be happy they got away with that. That was a little bit of a misplay. They actually, I think Chaos Knight cancelled his attack animation once on that Prophet there.
Oh, that's what it was. I thought for a moment it was going to be like that, pathing.
They also got a little bit unlucky, I guess. At this point, you would rather have the longer stuns than the extra damage on the Chaos Bolt.
Just Kuro running away.
He got a 1 second one.
I thought for a moment we're actually going to have some level of engagement up on the top. I also like kept my eyes on this mid lane. That's the reason why I went a little bit later into that top lane fight, because I'm wanting to see just how well Fada versus God actually plays out. Like a TA versus a puck. Like Fada took a lot of harassment damage, but if you look at the CS, it's really not that different between the two of them.
No, this is slightly better than what you should expect, I guess, out of from the puck's side of things, but it will only get harder now that TA hits level 5 in a moment. Oh damn, God is laying a lot of pressure into Fada here. It's starting to get hard, and now it's about who gets the rune. Because if Fata doesn't get the next rune, he might actually be harassed so hard that he has to stand back and play passively, and maybe even wait for another Bottle Crow to come out.
And that's not something he can really do, because God's just gonna like capitalize on the situation, and he's not gonna have that problem.
He's going for the rune very early, and he's getting help from Kuro. This is good. They have to secure this rune for Fata. It's very important.
He's just going to miss out on a little bit of the creep wave. Actually, no, he's not, because the creep wave is going to come under the tower and he'll get back in time. Kuro's actually going very, very deep here, and FNG's movement, like we just hit nighttime, so the vision game is the only thing which really stopped them from both going at each other there. Wait, what's getting so cheeky with that Darkseer? They just jump in through the side. There's no Radiant Sentry Ward down here. In fact, sorry, there's the Obs a little bit further over. So they understand when Liquid and GRX try and go for anything. And they go for the Shard Block, and they're able to get Phobos with the TP in from Mind Control. Phobos will end up going down. And this time around, Team Liquid, they don't have to trade off. Another Sprout kicks in. And there was no escaping there for FNG. Quick support and exactly what we expect from an Aegis Prophet.
Yeah, very well executed there. It is, of course, gonna cost them a bit of health on that bottom tower. Most likely Prophet doesn't have teleport or scroll of teleportation ready, but okay. Did I just call it scroll of teleportation? Are you playing some RPG here? Or
I don't know.
Well, the spell is called teleportation, the other one's called town portal scroll, but both are on cooldown. And
you can claim it, man. It's Warcraft 3. You're from the Warcraft 3 age, and it was called Scroll of Teleportation back then.
Was it called Town Portal Scroll? I think it was.
Was it Town Portal Scroll? That's the other way around then.
There was an item called Staff of Teleportation. That was the one where you teleported a creep back to base, or back to your, I think that was... It wasn't in Dota, it was in regular Warcraft, I think. Well, anyway, maybe it was called something else, actually.
Oh, yeah, that
I'm just making myself look stupider. Let's talk about something else.
No, you're right. That was in Warcraft 3 Dota when you can take your entire army back. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, the staff of teleportation.
I don't know. Anyway.
That's how you disengaged from like those huge fights. You all became like immune and you took everything back. But yeah, you want to get back to Dota.
Yeah, so anyway, Mind Controlled couldn't make it down there, but they TP down Kuro instead. And he gets quite a bit of levels from this, actually, or experience.
Fada, nice
and
pick.
He found Darkseer in the jungle and just killed him.
Yeah, he walked down with an Invis rune. And then just orbed him. Darkseer was very low though, like he was very low because he was taking the stack. So that's just a freebie. And that's a big freebie as well. Like, you just took out the offlaner, the guy who got first blood. And now this Darkseer who took first blood died 3 times in a row after that.
That's pretty rough game actually already for VP, gotta say. And you look at the graphs and it looks like no lead, but just... Again, VP aren't really making that many aggressive plays so far. They got that 1 kill top and 1 kill bottom, but we haven't seen the Wisp CK rotate yet, and I guess that's the thing to keep an eye out for. What's going to happen when they get relocate? Where's the setup going to come from? They have the Wyvern, maybe going to find level 6 around minute 11 at this rate, I think, for FNG, but he is so dirt poor. He doesn't even have boots yet on the Wyvern, and that's some bad news.
He really needs space being created by that Wisp and CK. But at the same time, like, you think about it, like Templar Assassin, you're still working into your treads here, but Blink Dagger timing shouldn't be too bad for God. There's not that many stacks in the jungle that he gets to take, because Phobos is taking it instead. They're trying to just power level up this Darkseer so he can also get the mech for their team fight. But if Silent can get a nice armlet timing, the Wisp can also grab his level 6, they're going to have a large influence on Team Liquid. That at that time, that you got to ask yourself the question, will Liquid be ready to fight it? Like, Jirax still doesn't have his level 6, that's a big thing for them. Actually bring in the puck as well. Okay, Snowball, they're going for Lil. They actually leave Silence alone. The Wrath of Nature kicks in and Lil, he tethers himself a long way away. He's still alive for the moment. One charging, bottle charging. It's not enough, and the shards barely misses the block on Silent. The Treants are moving over now. From mind control, afforded just enough time to get the spread off. Creates a whole bunch of new ones, but they cannot close the distance between themselves and CK. And they did sacrifice the Phoenix then. The Phoenix was brought down by the Io.
I think Fata might have misplayed that one and should have just coiled the CK right away. Because, let's say, what's the worst case? I don't know. Did CK actually? He did have a TP ready, and they had no other stuns. I think the snowball was used already. Yeah, I don't know if that could have gone better actually for Liquid in hindsight. Maybe
it's still a one-for-one trade-off, and like all you got was a Wisp for such a heavy rotation of all of your cores.
It didn't really pay out that well for them.
Speaking of payout, like the build, I thought it was going to be like an armlet straight up for Silence so he can get involved. He's gone for the Hand of Midas build on this CK. So he'll have this at 9 minutes, just needs the glove. Because he's already brought the recipe.
Hey, is this Virtus.Pro I'm watching? Are they getting Midas on a CK?
They are. Like, this is almost loaderish.
Where's the fighting build?
It'll come. But maybe it also shows us the mindset of Virtus.Pro. Like, the Templar Assassin's not going to hit that wonderful sweet spot until you hit around 20 minutes when you have both Blink as well as Desolator. And getting Chaos on up to level 11 at that point, like that's what the Midas can do for you.
Oh, I'm definitely not going to argue against picking up Midas. It's a good item this game for sure. It's just not what I was expecting from this particular team. But the logic behind it, getting fast levels, and of course, Chaos Knight is a hero that doesn't farm that well. He doesn't have any good ability to clear like stacks or anything, so Midas can help keep you on track against a hero like Luna, who's just flat out better at farming.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
She's also a lot better at dying than the CK is.
Yes.
Even though like she got buffed up a fair few patches ago, like, so she became like I think it was a base strength was increased, or a strength gain was increased.
Yeah, I think strength gain was increased. It's 2.2. That looks fairly high for how I remember Luna.
Yeah, she used to be a lot lower. Like that was when like the ultimate joke was the fact that you would like you'd pick up a Luna, but you had to wait until like 30 minutes until she had items to survive a fight. Relocate? Yeah, they're coming up top of it. The Luna, they just go for her. The Eclipse will pop off, and Silent actually gets isolated. Both the Wisp and the CK going down. Liquid brought the whole team so quickly then. They got hit very hard by the Wrath of Nature as well.
Radiant's top tower
That's just like...
Felt odd.
That was really weird. Like, they relocate on top of a Luna who they know has Eclipse. So, Matumba Man, if he reacted faster there, I think he could have precast the Eclipse even before they came in. But even then...
Oh, the curse. Where's the extra help? FNG's all alone. They're bringing in the TP support, but the Phoenix Egg is already down. Lil and God are here. So the Phoenix Egg now hits the ground. FNG will get stunned up by that one. 2 players from Team Liquid are down. The Cold Embrace saving FNG for the moment. But the Dream Call from Fada. He actually locked God in as well. But then, oh, protection. God, get the hell out of there. He's got Meld available again. +5 one charge. So in he goes, but he goes for the strike on Fada. With our Sunray attacking it back, and he had no other choice than Lil. He's going for the kill over on Jirax. He's able to claim it before dying himself. As we're just getting scrappy right now. The 3 for 3, and then jumping down to bottom lane, where Phobos is adding in a lot of pressure. That one little creep is taking care of a lot of the creep wave that's here, but now in comes Toro. Phobos, he's out of his surge away with the Tuskar punch. Phobos will go down. He leaves one last Iron Shell over on that tree into mind controls, which is going to separate him from the pack. But he had a lot of pressure but couldn't bring down that tower. In fact, it should be denied now.
Dire's middle tower
Liquid are just flat out just outplaying VP, and I think it's like, for me right now, it's 50-50 between really good plays from Liquid and just some flat out misplays from VP. Like that relocate top, I think is just, on this kind of level that VP generally plays on, it's kind of unacceptable. You look at the risk reward of that kind of play. It's one thing that you're relocating when heroes are missing on the enemy team, but you're relocating a hero that can just cast Eclipse and really turn the fight around really quickly. And that if there's like any sort of support nearby, the Tusk is there, or the Phoenix is there, or the Puck is there. Like, if any of those 3 were there, they actually just die.
They just smoked. They knew the Team Liquid were here, and then jumped in with the Sunray Virtus.Pro. They are being burned with the power of a Jirax. Phoenix now dive in further, go after Phobos. The wall will not hold out Team Liquid. A double kill for mind control. But they knew this. They were pinging out. The observer ward was placed by Team Liquid. and it was a Radiant Observable which scattered most of Team Liquid's movement, and then they smoked out of at least range of the Observable.
No, G as well.
Too. He'll go invis for the moment. There's still a lot of burn there, and he runs back out. That's 5 heroes lost for Virtus.Pro. Yes, you do sacrifice the Tusker, but that kill happened after TA went down, and now you're gonna curse on the Fada. That's not enough to control it with a relocate forward. Now you'll see VP getting some trades. Mind control, hiding himself to the tree line. He can't. No, really? He TPs himself away to safety on 90 HP. Oh boy.
This is not VP's day so far. Like,
this is the concern I kind of had for VP coming into this competition. Like, I'm certain, like, if we actually had the panel on this second stream, they'd be talking about the same kind of thing with VP. Like, they struggle to look stable at LAN events whenever they turn up. Like, online, they look absolutely fantastic. They then come up to a LAN event, and things just don't seem to click perfectly. They still like, place up, like, in the top 8.
yeah,
But,
exactly.
But they never feel confident, like, enough that you say, you know what, these guys will be top 4.
They seem to, like, in the world scene for the last year or so, they're a stable, like, 5th, 6th placer. But in this game, or in this series so far, I don't think they've played top 8 material for this tournament. And they're definitely not happy themselves either, because it just feels like they aren't, like, they're not playing to their own strengths as much as I would have liked to see.
Well, that's a little odd from a top of it. But they still should have enough magical damage they can kill off Silence, especially as he now comes out of a cold embrace. Vada blinks him for the Rift kill.
I mean, we've talked a lot about VP, but let's be real here. Liquid are also playing some seriously good Dota. As much as I'm a little bit disappointed in VP's play so far, I'm just as much impressed with Liquid. They've definitely turned up today. They're doing better than I expected. I know Liquid can play very, very well, and on a good day they can be one of the best teams in the world, and this is the kind of potential they're showing right now. This is some of the best Dota we've seen all tournament, actually, the way they're playing right now. So it's also going to make VP look worse than they maybe are.
Yeah. That's a good thing to point out. At least VP might have a little bit more confidence in the next fight. They've now got that Darkseer mech up for Phobos. So their sustain is going to get a little bit better.
They're getting Deso too now.
So their TA sweet spots are up. It's without the Blink Dagger. So there's no quick, easy jump. Speaking of that, Silent, they were able to fly one. That was back up on the back of a relocate, so Lil. Like, they'll end up just leaving the party. They go all the way back to base. But that's a big pick.
Yeah.
Like, you instantly kill off Nature's Prophet, you smoke up inside the base, and you're coming out for more. And this CK needed to get something. Like, you went ahead and Midas first into drums. Like, it's taking a while before the armlet's arriving.
This game is definitely not over yet. Like, Liquid are looking good. They've got a 4K lead, but this VP lineup is so explosive. If they get any sort of good opening, you always need to be, like, if you're Liquid, if you look at how the fights work, they generally don't kill off the heroes super fast. Like, they run them down, they deal damage over time. A hero like TA takes them quite a while to kill. This,
Oh, here they go.
oh,
In behind. Vada actually phase shift. He thought he was going to be initiated on. Gets the Silence over on Silent. He also left that Veil of Discord, so Silent's going to take a fair chunk of damage. And now the Phantasm. What a big curse. FNG hits the perfect target. Buying more space. Mind control will go down here, but still VP were in very, very deep. The tier 1 tower will take the fall, but Tupperman, he doesn't have his ult when he actually burnt that one in the previous fight in mid lane. As FNG just tries to fly himself out. This not possible. There's still going to be a double kill for that Puck of Vada. And this is now where Team Liquid, they actually refused to go for Roshan before. You actually saw Kuro, he drew 3 lines after Liquid, did everything and pinged Roshan, saying we're going to attack this. It said push out the side lanes first, then we can go for Roshan.
who did they curse? I feel like that curse did no damage.
Yeah, it really didn't. I'm not 100% certain, because there was like 4 heroes on top, but
He might have cursed the Tumberman, but he has 17 armor. So it didn't really do that much. I think the curse actually almost did more bad than good for Virtus.Pro there.
Because Silent couldn't find a kill because of it.
Yeah, I think Silent did no good deal damage, and they actually might have been in a position where G could have maybe run in and got a couple of sideblade attacks off, but ultimately, again, Liquid with the easily superior fight here. Interestingly enough, they didn't gain gold from that. So actually the tower was worth more, but now it should be. Now they're probably okay with this.
Yeah. Aegis the Immortal on the back of Matumberman. His BKB timing is also looking quite good. As he takes out this Ancient stack, the BKB he'll have enough money for it. So you got an 18-minute BKB with your Aegis the Immortal and your Helm of the Dominator over on the Luna. It's looking really good for him. In Fada, like, such a fun item as well to go for is like your first major item after Blink Dagger. getting that Veil of Discord.
It is so good. I think I played against it for. Uh-oh.
Can he actually
Phobos?
solve? No, he's
just trying to bait a rotation. Actually worked. You got FNG up here. Bottas is gonna back out.
Is under attack.
But yeah, the Veil on Puck is incredible. When you relocate, we'll talk at some point, I'm sure. That did not really do anything.
No.
Okay.
They just ran away.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely bring the CK with him back. Yeah. So yeah, what I was gonna say was, yep, okay, we got a TP top. That's good. All right.
Relax. Say what you need to say.
Yeah, we're getting out.
Like
okay.
if it's actually an important kill that happens, well, I'll let you know.
I think Phobos is gonna be fine here. He has Surge in 5. Okay, he's just gonna TP out. Okay, so when you think about how Puck works, there's like only one item this hero like really needs, and that's the Blink Dagger. It's incredible, and it's picked up every single game on this hero. But after that, it seems like this hero compared to other cores very quickly reaches a state where you can itemize so differently. With like everything else is, I don't want to call it luxury, but it's not like core.
Yeah.
So getting a Veil for the team and for yourself, it gives you really good stats, it gives you regen, and it synergizes with all of your spells. It synergizes with a lot of other things they have in this game as well, so it's just so great. And it's interesting that it took for Veil to get buffed as much as it has before Puck started regularly picking it up, because I think the old, worse version of Veil was still really good on Puck, but no one bought it. So it's a very interesting development, and I just think this item is incredible for the hero.
And he amplifies everyone else of Liquid. It's a great way to win these fights now, and you notice he's actually focusing on nothing but team fight. The Aghanim Scepter is the next major item that Vada is going for. And if they do win the next team fight, then Silent's probably going to be delayed up enough with this BKB that Vada may actually complete the Aghanim Scepter before that CK has the BKB. And that's when Silent's probably feeling confident enough that he can just battle, because he didn't go for the armlet. So he doesn't have this big strength advantage. Okay, God. Mind control. So I get the vision on him, understand where he's going. You've still got a Dream Call, so God can't TP himself out of here.
Oh, he's just manning up. Alright.
He does a lot of damage. That's a double damage rune over on God. Problem is he needs a vision, and the tree and the creep wave actually gives it to him. Support arrived. And they brought down 2 players. Fighter is hiding in this tree line. God won't find him, but yeah, okay. Remember this Templar Assassin, how much damage she does early on? She's now top of the net worth. That
is so big for Virtus.Pro, because if you think about it, we talked about why TA is good against Puck, and Fata there wants to go for the kill together with Mind Control, but they're like the worst duo for killing off this Templar. I think he got off 2, if not even 3 refractions, and they have the relocate ready. There has to be a Phoenix with them when they go for the TA kill. It's just, they need this reliable refraction counter, and the Phoenix is also great against the relocate. It's like that's why it was such a good pick in this game. Can just immediately Fire Spirit the CK when he comes in and drop his ults. But big pick for VP, and they actually pulled back the game entirely. We've really got a game now.
Yeah, that we do.
They just woke up.
Yeah. You thought Liquid were looking really good. I was actually wondering if Fido would actually go for something more like a Dagon as his second major item, so they can keep that momentum of Team Liquid going. Like you Veil, you Dagon, you throw everything else you got out. Like a quick pick. Like there's no way that Io would have survived that top lane fight if you'd looked for something like that. But now Team Liquid, they've still got the Aegis Immortal. Check out the timing of this. It's only another maybe 55 seconds left on the Aegis Immortal of the tournament. So he's trying to do something with it. With the loss of those 2 heroes on bottom lane, he basically lost a minute worth of time where they could have been assaulting into a tower. So he'll use it, they'll take out the tier 2 tower in mid. But that's going to be all they get from it. There's no way to force the fight up against VP, and VP no.
Oh.
He actually didn't even get the last hit.
Oh man. The 3 units hitting the tower, and the only one not under his control ends up getting it.
Well, he backed out.
That did
not Tubman actually left just before the last hit when he tried to use the Alpha Wolf instead.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to play safe and not risk losing. At the same time, he just might as well almost lose the Aegis there. I think his entire team was already in position to back him up in case. Oh, speaking of which, they might just go in.
Easy D-Ward though, so Team Liquid, they still don't see it. And there goes your Aegis Immortal. They're not going to go for anything. Phobos is also, like, he's played catch-up really nicely. Like, he's been hiding in the tree lines, just keeping that top lane pressured up, and Mind Control, like, he can't split push right now. Every time he tries to do it, there's too much pressure on top lane, he has to keep coming back to defend. He'll at least have an extra helping hand with an Aghanim Scepter being done in 1200 gold.
Dire's top tower is under
But also,
attack.
man, God's got so much money. Like, the CK obviously running Midas has the BKB up. The Puck Aghanim Scepter is still another 1400 away. But this Templar Assassin has 3.7k banked. And I'm wondering if God has seen the Aghanims coming up from the Puck.
He's gonna go BKB anyway.
He's still gonna do it?
Absolutely. It's so
Just because
good
there's so
this
much
game.
magical out there?
I think he has to get it against the Phoenix mainly. Everything Phoenix does gets countered by this item, apart from the stun from his ults. So now Refraction just got like 3 times as good with this item pickup. And sure, you can tank that stun from the Aghanim's Puck, which is annoying. But if you don't have a BKB, you also take the
Observer's down. The curse over on Matubman. Remember, he's got a lot of armor, but that's anything. It's a long way away from this fight. Matubman's going to go down very, very quickly. And no, the egg will crack. God's the other one to be really affected by it, but then breaks from that, instantly kills off Kuro, and Team Liquid, they're bailing as fast as they possibly can.
Yeah, when Luna dies like that, the fight is over. Liquid are doing the right thing, just saving as many as they can. I'm pretty sure the moment they saw that curse and then the back wall, Kuro immediately just calls back. This is over, we cannot possibly fight. If they try to fight that they get 5-0'd, they wouldn't even find a single kill. The good news for Liquid in that situation is they lost the fight, but at the very least, Phantasm was expended. Liquid might not even be taking any objective off it, so
Dire's
Bottom?
bottom
Not all
tower
that
is under
awful.
attack.
Suppose he
Radiant's
gets the
top
leech
tower
experience
is
now.
under attack.
That's an upside.
But VP, they're starting to show signs of life. It's like they were just looking for some sort of momentum in the series in general, not just this game, but in game number 1 they also didn't find much. And now that they're getting confident, they are just looking for plays, and they're
getting the items to go for those
just
plays.
playing better and better with every minute that passes, and that's going to make them look very scary in an eventual game 3, because it feels like they're finally just clicking and have woken up as a team.
It did look for a while though that they weren't going to be able to click. Like, I didn't think Silent was going to get this space that he has now just to like farm and get all of his primary items up. Because everything's still fairly defensive for the CK, like a Midas as well as a BKB. Like, we're not even seeing him ripping out raw power yet.
And I wonder what he's going to get actually, because
yeah, would you go for the Manta style or do you go for...
yeah, looks like it.
Okay.
I was going to say, you know, generally what CKs get after the at this stage in the game is they either get Manta or they get the Heart. Those are the 2 most common choices. But Heart is actually not that good against Phoenix because the percentage-based damage type of Sunray can still just burn down those Illus pretty quickly. But with a Manta style, just more illusions, more split push, more pressure. You can get full heroes around with Reality Rift. There's a lot of good things to be said about this item on the hero.
Mind control. He's going to treat near him and they're going to see what's going on. Silent,
So
quick Reality Rift. The really sad thing is for mind control, he was playing it so defensive. He was farming from down here on the low ground, using Sprout to gain vision, but he just wasn't killing anything fast enough. So because of that, they lose their Nature's Prophet. The trade-off is Matubman's getting a lot of farm in mid, and pressure is being applied by Jirax on bottom lane. But it's not going to stop VP from taking out their tier 2, and then TPing into defense if they need to.
this TA is going to start becoming a really big problem. You remember when we talked about him buying that BKB? That feels like it's 2 minutes ago. He has 3k gold again. His GPM is starting to explode here. He's already 625, and that's with 4 kills. It's pretty rare that you see a hero have that high GPM at this point in time. It's not like a designated farming role.
Both supports get out. Silent right in the back of Matubman. He just burned his BKB. Is going to attempt to TP out and will be successful. Or was it 9? Actually, was that his 10th? Yeah, that was his 10-second BKB he just burned to escape.
He has to do it though.
But it's not what you want to do that. Like you use a 10-second BKB, you want to get an objective with that.
Yeah. But he had no choice. If this Luna dies like once or twice more, the game is just lost. VP are out farming Liquid super hard. At the very least, they find a courier snipe here. It's like all these small things will obviously add up, but you look at the last hit chart and you just realize that Virtus.Pro are using the map way better. I'm actually surprised with how little farm Mind Control has. He's been playing a very active role early. Understandably so, like they got a lot of kills from that. But how often do you see a Prophet minute 27 not even have 100 CS?
Yeah.
That is very unusual.
He's just stalled up. But for the last, like, I think it's been about 7 minutes, he's been sitting here just requiring a point booster. Trying to find space to get it, and then dies. And then starts the whole process again. But he can't take too much farm, because they still need to get more onto Matubman. Matubman is the second highest, he's the highest net worth for Team Liquid. But without that Manta, it's really, like, even if he does get the Manta, I don't know if that really helps him in this. Like, there's a couple of things he can dodge.
It's very good against TA. That's the main thing.
That's true.
Something to pierce refraction.
But then TA could also not really care because he's just gonna BKB and like Daedalus nuke you down with one hit.
Yeah, but again, it's you just have to try, right? Because there's nothing better. You could argue possibly for a butterfly instead of this Manta. I guess that.
But then if God sees it coming, he just buys a Monkey King bar and you're instantly countered.
Yeah, if you've got instantly have 5k in your bank when you see the butter, then sure,
Yeah,
but
that's what he's got right now.
Not how it happens. He's gonna buy something now. He might actually just buy the MKB and sit up for in case, but I think he's still gonna get the crit. But regardless,
they see this.
You actually often get, when you're playing against a TA, some core heroes that will almost never get Manta end up buying it with high priority.
They didn't throw down a sentry ward.
Just have to get rid of the refraction.
This is the vision right now of Virtus.Pro. They see perfectly inside the pit. They understand the exact position that Roshan's at. Fada is waiting outside, and now they have gotten rid of the trap, but the jump comes in. Phobos, a 3-man ball, not the perfect combination. Kuru even gets a punch over on God, as well, the curse is used on the Luna. A BKB will now be triggered, and Silence triggers his own. He'll come back in for the fight. They can go close towards Kuros, but Tubman lets the ulti off for Silence under the cover of his own BKB. It's the only one getting hit by that Eclipse, so no damage really being done. And God, they line him up, careful of the side blade spill. Also with the puck, all Fada, all 5 players of Team Liquid trying to run out the same line, and Kuro, he has to go back in again. Do they find something? No, they don't. They're gonna lose everything. Liquid, well, maybe T-Rex with the sunburn. Silence dropping down low. Fada still in the middle of the fight. He phase shifts. He survives. Phobos trapped in the tree army, and he'll actually go down. T-Rex is a triple kill as this Phoenix. God is still on the front lines, the Earth's ticking him down. They let the Battle of Discord go, and it's over on God. Refraction will help him stay alive for the moment. He's still got meld available to G-Rex again going into the Sunray. How are Liquid remaining alive in this fight? Finally, VP just say, screw this. Let's try and go for Roshan. The Orbis on him from Fada. He's got blink in 2 seconds, but 2 seconds is too long. VP will take Roshan, they'll grab the Aegis and the Immortal, and they'll get out of what was a clusterfuck of a fight around Roshan.
That was absolutely an incredible fight, and what didn't we have in that fight? We had a 10-treant block on a Darkseer. What looked to be a disaster for Liquid actually gets pretty much salvaged there in the end. They do lose the fight, lose Roshan. It cost a buyback for Lil though. They would have cleaned up. They were actually winning that fight if not for that relocate buyback to save the TA at the end. And very good decision making here from Lil to go for that play, as of course it didn't only save his ally but secured the Roche. Still, that was...
It's still a win for VP. As you said, like, you traded the buyback, yes, Lil bought back. So did Fada. So they both expended their buyback.
That is true, actually, yeah.
And the advantage is now 8.5k for VP.
You're right. He was the first kill. Yeah, so if he doesn't buy back, they also get, like, stunned there.
Yeah.
So,
but it was just funny, though, because that's, again, another time when Eclipse just hasn't really done much. But Tubman's physical damage isn't really that scary, because it seems VP, like, the second that Eclipse went, Silent was just left. Like, it was just him on the front lines, nothing else. But now he's going to have a Manta style as well, so the Eclipse can do even less. Like, Eclipse and Phantasm, like, Tubman's damage has to become, like, scary. Like, it has to be able to clean up the CK illusions really, really quickly in order for Team Liquid to have hit, like, to feel the presence of the Luna in the fight. Because if not, like, the last part of that fight was that long, drawn-out duration fight that you said the Team Liquid like to go for. And it was the Sunray, just giving the extra life to survive, Fada being very, very elusive after buying back. Also props to Fada for being that elusive, but he doesn't even have a Yule scepter. Because normally it's the Yules that gives you that time to bounce around.
Well, when you are the best puck in the world, you tend to play well on the hero. I think he must have some of the most competitive games on the hero out of any player. He might actually hit, I'm pretty sure he is #1 in games played on the hero in competitive Dota. And now that hero is back, Fata should just be playing this very often. He is incredible on the hero. Yep, just as I said, that's Caster's curse right there. I might actually be okay anyway.
He didn't see it perfectly coming. Actually, they may try and capitalize this. Basanda then just BKB. He dances around. Fada is still very low. Inside the pit. Tries to hide himself off. But Silent. Oh, that's easy. Blink yourself away. Dodge the attack. You did lose the Phoenix. He burned his egg as well. And there's no way for Kuro to really escape from this. It looked half decent for Team Liquid. Until CK triggered BKB. And then there was no answer. VP actually just took that fight that had to use both Phantasm. Like, or any other real big ulti, like the Curse didn't have to be expended. God's... How does this guy keep... Okay, I don't actually know how he keeps finding money.
He kills creeps and heroes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But he's got 4k gold after having that Daedalus. And it's the full Daedalus as well. Like, I saw him buy the Chrysalis after that last fight around Roshan. So he's managed to, in that time frame between the Roshan fight and now, finish his entire Daedalus and still find another 4.5k gold.
It's actually absurd how rich this hero is right now.
What's his gold per minute? It's, alright, so he's sitting right now at 683 gold per minute.
And you look back on this game and you look at the graph, and you're like 14 minutes in, Liquid have a 5k least, like, wow, that's really good. And they just, the moment VP found just a little bit of success, like some kills, some favorable trades, the farm just absolutely exploded for the Templar Assassin in particular. God has more than 10 CS a minute right now on TA. It's something we do CTAs get occasionally, but it's mostly that TCS a minute mark is for hard carries like the Anti-Mage or Morphling that managed to acquire that, but he's just been playing an exceptional game here.
Alright, looks like we're going to get some bigger items being purchased up at Plate Mail for Jirax. Matubma is building the evasion, but once this gets scouted out, you know that God's just going to go straight into a Monkey King bar. Like, the Aegis Immortal times out, buy an MKB. Yeah, she gets lucky too with an Invis rune. The Observer Ward, which is pretty, like, it's... I won't say passively placed, it's like smack bang in the middle of the Team Liquid jungle. It's letting him see enough, so he sees Kuro running and they're going top. Yep.
This one's gonna get tough to get out of.
That's
one of the situations where, no, he wouldn't even survive with the Yules, because they just chain it. They wait until Curse is about to end, then they CK stun, and they just burst him down.
Okay, God, can you one-shot someone? Not with his, actually no, well, not with his current damage. Like, if he had the Monkey King bar, then I'd be like, yep. But he's now bought that. The Courier's flying out the double javelins.
He might almost be able to one-shot Kuro with the MKB. So, Kuro has 12 armor. Phoenix actually has less health, I think, after you calculate armor. But he can two-shot.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee that.
He's just so brutal against the Luna. Like, he just picked up your Talisman of Evasion, and instantly God just flies out the Monkey King bar. And the jump is Jirax. Okay, Silent. If one of him wasn't enough, he's going full Agent Silent right now. Looking for another attack. Kuro snowballs away quickly, but Reality Rift just drags you back into that Chaos Knight's embrace. And this has been Jirax. This really is GG.
Yeah.
You've got two heroes who cannot come back. One who can expend buyback, but you've lost your mid-ranked 100%, and you've probably lost your top.
Absolutely, there's no way in hell they're gonna hold this second lane either.
How do you hold again? Like, you come back out of this, and Silent's gonna have a full heart. Like, he's already walking around with a Reaver on this Chaos Knight. This VP lineup is just too rich.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no easier way to say it.
It's like,
hey,
the game has been going in this direction for 15 minutes to be fair, so it's not like shocking or surprising that this ends up happening, but...
Yeah. It's just the sharp spike which has now come recently, which is like, okay, like, you haven't just put one nail in the coffin, like, Liquid are currently buried, and they're running out of oxygen.
Look, God has 3k gold again.
Moonshot time?
I guess. Yeah, it's probably the best pickup now.
Perfect against Phoenix. No egg for you. I just don't know how you're meant to fight this now. Like, there doesn't seem to be a way. Like maybe if you had like a Faceless Void combination like they had in game number 1, things would feel a little bit better for Team Liquid. If the Luna was doing more. If the Prophet didn't just walk around with his Academ Scepter, because he doesn't get any momentum from this anymore. Like, there's just no presence from it. Like, Team Liquid, like, you get a Veil of Discord up from the puck, and you're like, oh wow, Team Liquid, they're gonna find kill after kill with all this early magical damage. And then a couple of things go wrong, and, like, now these items don't match their timings.
Gonna break a smoke here. There's, like, nothing working for Liquid
They throw the sentry down. They at least know the observer ward's there. The quick snowball, and then just the, okay, no, that's, yeah, this is just, no. Just, Matubman is currently being held in place by that ultimate. There is no escape here. Barda can throw down the Dream Core, but it's gonna be like wishful thinking that he can control them. They jump out, they relocate forward, so God can blink down, but it's actually the Iron Shell from Phobos that finds the kill. Sparta's on the run, but finally the GG call will come out. And for the first time with me, at least casting here on the second stream, we are going to be having a game number 3. It is not a whitewash, but definitely a very, I would say, what's the word? Confidence-invoking game from VP after the first 10 minutes.
Absolutely. I consider them the favorites going into Game 3 now because, you know, Liquid, they picked a draft similar to what they ran in Game 1, and they were looking good, and now it failed. So now they need to rethink their approach perhaps, and